Whether it's something you've tried over and over and you still don't have it in place, or what newness do you want to embody in this next season? Because you can really create any life that you want. You can change your identity. You can become the person that really follows through on something that's been really hard for you. We are Gold Ivy.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what creates space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
If you struggle with digestion, energy, bloat, acne, mood, fatigue, listen up. I spent 4 years, 50 plus doctors, and tens of thousands of dollars to heal my gut so you don't have to. I've created the what to do guide I wish I had before spending years navigating the overwhelming amount of information and conflicting doctors' opinions out in the gut health world. My help, I can't figure out what's wrong with me. The How to Heal Your Gut Starter Kit is now available, and the response to it online has been incredible. On top of what I wish I would have known, I also wish this information would have been easily accessible for me. Because of that, it's available to you on the shop page of our website for only $9.99. Included in my guide is what helped me and countless others heal their gut, along with chronic fatigue, acne, hormone imbalances, and so much more. You'll learn what foods to stay away from, what foods to eat, a 4-week gut healing eating plan, lifestyle tools to aid your healing process, and 2 of my go-to favorite recipes. So head over to our shop page on our website, goldivyhealthco.com, and remember, happy gut, happy life. You can heal. Let me help you.
One of our most popular episodes was with Jessie Golden, the creator of our new favorite and life-changing skincare line, The Golden Secrets.
You've probably seen us post about it because we take it everywhere with us, but we wanted to fill you in on exactly what we're using and the results we're seeing with this sustainable, fair trade, and cruelty-free skincare and wellness line.
Jessie mentioned that the one thing she'd take to a deserted island is her Heal oil. So with her incredible-looking skin, I jumped in and bought it right away. I'm using the Heal oil as a moisturizer at the end of my skincare routine, or if I'm in a rush and only use one product after cleansing, it's the Heal oil. I also use it right before my new gua sha routine. The Golden Secrets has a gua sha tool called the Sorceress Stone Gua Sha Beauty Tool. It's an ancient holistic facial massage tool that enhances your skincare routine by increasing blood flow, circulation, and nutrients to brighten the complexion and tone, and it lifts the facial muscles naturally. Jessie says, this is the one beauty tool, hands down, that has made the greatest impact on my skin. It has helped retrain the way the patterns of my face, muscles, and skin function. I'm already seeing more definition in my jawline and cheekbones, which is so exciting. Jessie provides tutorials on exactly how to use all of her tools and products. So as a person who's notorious for knowing nothing about skincare, The Golden Secrets has been my favorite discovery.
And for me, I've spent years getting back my health. And because of that, I take what I put in and on my body very serious. I can say without a doubt that the Golden Secrets is the only skincare products I will use in the future. I swear by the Heal oil, the Youth Beauty Face Oil, coconut lip balm, and will soon have every product on my bathroom sink.
The Golden Secrets is rooted in nature, ancient wisdom, and organic beauty. Jessie Golden thrives on making skincare and wellness products that benefit everybody.
We're thrilled that we have a discount code you can use to save money when you shop The Golden Secrets. Use code GOLDIVY for 10% off today and keep watching us at Gold Ivy Health Co. on all social channels as we continue to share our amazing results with the Golden Secrets skincare line.
You can find the link and code in the show notes of this episode.
And now to today's episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast.
Welcome back to Ivy Unleashed. We are so happy to be here recording the end of summer, beginning of fall, this timeline, this season.
A new season is upon us.
And we want to talk about embracing that season, owning that season, feeling good in that season, having some acceptance of the season, all about the seasons where we're moving into a new one. And we want to experience life the best that we can, right? So what do we need to do in this season to not only like thrive and feel good, but also kind of own our struggles and like own what we know is kind of tough in these seasons. So when we acknowledge these things, we can kind of help them become like a superpower.
Yeah. Well, this idea stemmed from a conversation we had last week where we were talking about summer. It's always so chaotic for everyone, but especially your family. And I think being in Minnesota, you get 3 beautiful months. Like you fully take advantage of those and you cram everything in. And then Friday comes and you're like, why did I agree to all these things? But we were talking about how it's always chaotic for you and your family. And you said, why don't I just embrace it? Like, why do I try and fight it? And so that's what we want to talk about is how we're doing it, how we are embracing this upcoming season. Because there's something exciting about a new season. Just like, okay, I'll start Monday. It's like, I'll start with a new season. Well, that time is now. So let's start thinking about it.
Yeah. And we have some awesome prompts for you. These really powerful questions to ask yourself as you go into a new season or you're in the midst of it and you don't like how the season's going. We really like these empowered questions that get you thinking about like, what is that for me? You know, and when we kind of reflect on what it is for us and kind of riff on like where we're at, what we struggle with, whatever, we hope that you can see yourself in it, or you can, maybe you're the opposite that we are. And it's just to get to know yourself better so that throughout these seasons, as we evolve, as we change, we can ask ourselves these questions every season to kind of, one, understand yourself better, but then kind of plan for elevating, feeling better. And when we know this chaotic time comes, when, for me, for summer, I'm homeless. Recently, I quit my job, my corporate job, and I am a stay-at-home mom, also an entrepreneur. Like this combination, it's been very tricky, but awesome. And it's like this new identity, right? And so for me, it's like, really, what am I now? Like, what is my life now? And they're about to go back to school. By the time this airs, they'll be in school.
Praise the Lord.
But yeah, so for me right now, like just getting to the end of summer and thinking about like, what are the things I don't like? And why am I resisting them? What are they? And instead of resisting them, embracing them. So one thing is I always gain weight every summer because I'm drinking more alcohol. I'm sleeping worse. I'm probably a little bit more like just stressed. It's like good stress because it's like fun, but it's like away from my home and I really thrive in a routine. And so my body, it changes and it just like, I don't like that feeling. But I think that's something that I need to almost accept a little bit more unless I really want to do something about it. Clearly I don't. Every summer I'm like, I love beer. I love sitting on a deck and drinking beer with my friends. I like being at the lake and just like not focusing on always having to eat a salad, right? Whatever is there when I'm at someone's home, you know, I'm just trying to like.
I feel like you have this trend where summer is busy, but then fall, it's go time because you do have more time. You are in that structure, that routine, which school forces you to be.
For sure. Yeah. And I do feel like it's good to have different seasons and I want to stop fighting against it and feeling bad about it. Cause I do have this, like, I could have gotten up earlier. I could have, should have, whatever. I watched this TikTok from Mel Robbins the other day where she was like, anybody else like me where right now it's end of summer and you're unbuttoning your pants cause everything's tight and you've spent a lot of late nights with friends. And she's like, good. That's what this season is for. It's to, like, especially if you live in a state like Minnesota, which is why I feel like I don't belong here because I feel like there's so much pressure to like enjoy this time.
But what if you embraced it?
Exactly.
Like, what if you were okay with not being on your A game and you knew that, okay, summers were really a season of not being so tight with everything you do and regimented and having more of that flow. I think about when we had the menstrual mogul on and she talked about as women, right, we're cyclical. And so there is different seasons that we're in. And she compared the different seasons of your cycle, of your luteal phase, and when you get your period and when you're ovulating, 2 different seasons. And so summer, you know, what does that represent for you? What is balance for you? What's beautiful is everyone, what they want out of life is different. And you get to decide what does balance look like for you. And I think that's why we really want to do this episode is to provide you tangible tips to reset to reflect in whatever season that you're in, so you can feel centered and you can achieve that balance that you're looking for. Because right now we're in a really beautiful spot of, okay, summer is over. What did we learn? What did we like? Like, as you're speaking, you're saying, I really liked that I could have a beer on a deck, and I don't want to beat myself up come next summer. And so the fact that that is top of mind for you is, okay, how do I remember this next season? What did I like about?
Like, I think I keep thinking it's like, well, I just need to do a little bit less or something. But then I never regret those nights with my friends on my deck. Like, we always have such great conversations, and it's so fun. And not that it has to involve alcohol, but the late night even, affects my next day, or I'm sleeping in later. And so, yeah, I think it's allowing and maybe aligning the rest of my life with it too, where what is it that I feel like I'm not accomplishing? Because truly, I think like the biggest thing that I get upset with myself about is if I can't be present the next day with my kids. Like, if I can't get up with them, or if I can't function well with them, I don't have the energy or the patience, like that's where the inner critic really comes at me. So, I'm not sure what the solution totally is, but it's kind of like addressing that inner critic. Like, what is it saying? And in this season, how can I find some more grace? Like, how can I counteract that a little bit? And saying like, it's okay. This is what life is about, is connecting with your friends, enjoying weather, sitting outside, making memories, doing fun things. I think just to stop resisting that so much and feeling like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. I think it's funny you're saying that, because what I'm thinking of is resisting that I know alcohol isn't for me. And maybe not forever, but in this season of life, like, I'm thinking, how can I be present with the people I love, enjoy the summer, let loose, have fun without alcohol? Because I went to a bachelorette party and I was back in my college days. I was having the best time, but I wasn't myself for the next week. And I knew it was alcohol. Like, I knew, and I've fully accepted that it's just right now in this season of life to get me where I want to be, and not even, right, like I'll be happy when, it's the being content and at peace. It's just alcohol, it doesn't make me feel good. It affects everything. Like you're saying, it affects the next day. It affects, for me, the next week, just the inner critic. And so that's why I decided to start 75 hard. And like, that's this transition into a new season of me, is really working on the self-discipline of how can I be fully present and grateful, because I feel like with the chaos of this summer and the eating and the drinking and the late nights, it causes my confidence to go down. It causes my discipline to be like non-existent. And maybe that's something that I need to work on, and it probably is, but I love a challenge. And if I want to up-level certain areas of my life, I'm thinking about, okay, what do I know works for me? And it's a challenge. And I've got every weekend is a wedding. Like, that's the season of life I'm in, is every weekend is a wedding. And we had a wedding this past weekend, and I didn't drink. And I felt on fire. I had the best Sunday. It was full of friend time. It was full of movement and planning and relaxation. And I was like, this is what I want more of in my life.
How was it at the wedding?
It was fine. There's this trend, because now I've done it enough, of telling myself I'm not going to drink, where at the beginning you feel like you're that girl. You're that one that's not drinking. There's an open bar, and I've learned that if I just have something in my hand, and if I just tell myself, okay, just this hour, you're not going to drink this hour, and literally take it 1 hour at a time. And then you start to see people get a little sloppy. You start to get a little tired, and then you kind of feel drunk because you're tired. And for me, I'll have caffeine, and then I kind of feel high on caffeine and excited, and then I'm dancing and I'm moving. It's the act of just like sitting there and not having a drink, that initial craving, that once you get over that, it's fine. Mm-hmm. And it's that self-talk of, why can't I be okay without a substance right now? Like, why am I really here? It's to celebrate love. And so then I ask more questions. I get out of my head. And as time goes on, I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy I didn't drink. I think that person's going to feel terrible tomorrow, being my boyfriend. And I get proud of myself. And it's something that I want to feel more of. And it's a challenge for me, but it's a good challenge. It's something that elevates my life.
Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every episode of Ivy Unleashed is dedicated to empowering you to take ownership of your health. And what it really comes down to is prioritizing your mental health.
We've both seen the beauty and growth that therapy can bring and are thrilled to partner with BetterHelp to allow you the opportunity to feel heard and seen by a professional. The National Alliance on Mental Health reports that 155 million people live in a designated mental health professional shortage area, and BetterHelp is working to close that gap.
I've personally used BetterHelp and loved it because it was all online, making it super convenient. The biggest piece for me was how affordable it is. I was able to choose the therapist that met my needs. I came in with wanting to work on childhood trauma and anxiety, and it was unbelievable to see how many options I had with all the different backgrounds of therapists.
With BetterHelp, you have access to a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness. And sometimes we can't see our own patterns and behaviors until we talk them out and get an unbiased perspective.
It's really nice to have someone who doesn't know you and has the professional background to help you thrive in your daily life. It has made the world of a difference with every relationship in my life, including the one with myself.
To get started, all you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire about your needs and preferences and choose your therapist out of the options they give you. You can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. Also, you can switch therapists at no additional charge until you find the right fit for you.
The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/goldivy. That's betterhelp.com/goldivy.
Take the first step to inner peace and freedom today. Brooke, what do you think everyone wants more of?
Energy.
What do you think most people are hoping to come out of 2023 with?
Feel more confident, be an example for others, actually have the self-discipline to take care of themselves.
Yes, exactly. Because we hear the need for it and we want to help you get in the best shape of your life, we created Move with GOLDIVY, our virtual workout platform.
Our dream has been to create accessible, affordable, and effective workouts that you can do anytime, anywhere, designed to hold you accountable and get you the results you need.
You can pick any workout you want at any time, but if you do want a plan that alternates muscle groups and leaves your body feeling energized and strong, we have a weekly plan that you can follow to take the guesswork out.
It's easy to navigate and packed with all kinds of workouts that will help you strengthen, trim, pump up, tone, energize, de-stress, all of the things we want our body to feel. It's within Move.
Don't forget to mention the resources we offer. As a member of Move with GOLDIVY, you'll be a part of our exclusive Ivy League community, where we share our top wellness resources on things like meal planning, gut health hacks, time management, and more.
And because you listen to the Ivy Unleashed podcast, we want to offer you all of this for only $20 a month, cheaper than any monthly membership you'll find.
Not only that, you'll get a free trial week to test it out.
And if you need more incentive to start prioritizing you, here's our favorite part. Your movement matters. Each month, 10% of your membership will be donated to support the mental health of those in need.
So head on over to goldivyhealthco.com/move or find the link within the show notes of this episode and sign up today. Stop putting yourself in the back burner. Snag your spot and reap the benefits that you deserve to feel this year.
It's your time. Move for your health, move for your confidence, move for your mental clarity, move with GOLDIVY.
And now back to the show. That's tricky though, because you have to be so forward thinking, because in the moment, all of your impulse is saying, it's an open bar, it's free.
But how is my life going to be if I live that like that, right? So it's that grace, that dance of not everything has to be so planned out, but there are fundamentals that I want to have planned out that make me feel good. And 75 hard, for those who don't know, there's certain things you do every day for 75 days, right? You do 2 workouts, 2 45-minute workouts, one's outside, you don't drink alcohol, you follow a diet that you choose, you take a progress pic, you read 10 pages. And these are all things, other than the progress pic, that I pretty much do. I don't do them consistently. And I haven't been doing them consistently. And my mental health hasn't been the greatest. And so when I feel myself kind of falling back into that depression or that comparison trap. It's like, I know that the only person that can get me out of that is me. And so what do I need? I need to challenge myself.
I love it. So this is a challenging season for you. You're going to challenge yourself in the fall. When's your last day of 75 Hard?
I don't even know.
Oh,
It's in November.
okay.
I did it, and I was like, if I don't start it now, then I'm going to get into winter, and it's going to be freezing because you have to do one workout outside, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And I think I haven't fully committed, but I think I'm going to join Brooke when she's like 30 days in because I want to get through my birthday and a bachelorette party. I know. People.
But it's your decision, right? Ian was asking me, what made you want to do this? And I said, it has nothing to do with my physical health, which it does because I know these things are going to make me feel better, but it's my self-discipline and it's my proof that I can take care of me and be consistent with these things so that it does become a lifestyle. And in this season of life too, it's okay, Saturdays are really for play. Sundays are rejuvenation. And I love that idea. Mm-hmm. I think about, okay, what has been missing in the past and what new habits or things do I really want to make a part of my lifestyle so that there can be that balance.
I feel like you're going to figure out what you like. This is going to teach you exactly what you want your seasons to look like.
Yes.
And if it's realistic, right? Like it's not probably realistic. It's doable to have an outside workout all year round, but it's here very tricky in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be interesting, and I'm sure we'll record an episode on, especially if I do it too, on like the experience.
Like, y'all, it's day 5, and I was telling Andrea, like, my mood is great, my energy is great, and it's because I am doing basic things. I'm reading, I am moving my body. Yesterday, I did a 45-minute stretch. I did a yoga video, and it felt so good. If I didn't have 75 Hard, I would have been like, it's Sunday, it's fine. Like it's getting in those habits of, okay, I'm not scrolling on my phone, which doesn't help my mental health. So I don't know. I'm day 5 in, could be placebo, but I feel like as things just keep progressing with business and life and like there's never a relaxed season because now we have fall, we have football season, which my boyfriend's a football agent. So football is everything. We have all of the Halloween things. Then we have holidays. Then you have it's a new year. Okay, let's rev up. Like when are you actually relaxed? And so I have to create that peace within me. Mm-hmm. You have to schedule that out.
Yeah, well, it comes back to presence. It's really, how do I want to feel in the midst of making these memories, in the midst of these weddings, in the midst of the day after the festivities? Like, how do I want to feel? And, I think it's different for everyone. And so it's really powerful to ask yourself some questions that can really get you to your own answers of, a lot of people, summer is relaxing for them. And then fall is chaotic because they're a teacher. And all of a sudden life is like bananas because there's activities and being a teacher and going back to school and teaching all these children like that, I'm sure is way more chaotic than their summer. And so everyone's life is different. Everyone's family is different. And how we feel in the midst of this is different. And so we want to go through the word season. We have some powerful questions to ask yourself. We would encourage you to journal about it or even just talk about it into your phone on like a note in some way that you can truly get to your own answers, to your truth. Because we can think about these things, sure, but maybe come back to this episode. You can find it on YouTube or come back where you're at right now. Jot down the answers to these questions. So number 1 is for S, for season. What are typically my strengths in this season? So what does make me feel good that's actually pretty easy for me to do in this season?
What's your strength for summer?
It's easy to run. And so it's easy for me to get outside. Yeah. So, and there's no resistance to that. I don't care if it's 120 degrees. I don't care if it's 50 and windy. Like if I can be outside, that is a strength of mine and that completely improves my mental health and physical health. How about you?
I'd say the same thing. Like it feels rejuvenating. It feels like I'm gaining clarity. Like recently I've been doing some walks before I started 75 Hard. When I'd do like a 20-minute walk, I would do no music, no podcasts. And I'd be like, I'm just going to reflect and think about what I want, what's going well, like get me in a good headspace. I mean, you hear this all the time, like ideas come to you as you move. And it's so true. It was peace and clarity and all of these like exciting things came to me. So I think getting outside in the summer is something that I so miss. in the winter.
Yeah. So what are your strengths in whatever season that is? And so as you approach it, what do I typically bring to the table that I can keep in place? Because there are always things that you're good at, whether you believe it or not. Next is E. What do I want to embody this season? So kind of like, okay, those are my strengths, but what's like something I really want to feel, I want to be, I want to tap into more, like kind of get those feelings associated more than like thinking about a habit, thinking of how you want to feel in that season. Maybe, after last summer, I felt like this and I want a little bit more of this. Doesn't have to be something wild, but.
But like I said, why I'm doing the 75 hard is the discipline and the confidence. I want to feel like the badass that I know I am. And when you're doing all these things for you, how could you not? So whether it's you want to feel like a badass or you want to feel at peace, or maybe it's that idea that I said of, okay, Saturdays like are really just a relaxation day, or Sundays, or for you, if it's Mondays, whatever.
And if you don't know what you want to embody, I'd offer up the idea of clarity. Like if you don't know, it means you're confused and you're probably a little too busy. And so thinking about, you just came off a season, you're like, I don't even know how I want to feel. Maybe it's just finding some clarity. How can I embody this idea of feeling this clarity of what I want, or what I want my day to look like, or how I want to feel, or how I want my relationships to look like. And so sometimes that's kind of a tough word, because when feelings get involved, people get a little, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I struggle with this too. Like when I think about, because a lot of meditations I listen to, they're like, visualize what you want, like the ideal day. And I'm like, I don't know. And it wasn't until I started doing it recently and really being intentional with, okay, what does that ideal day look like? And we've talked about this as running a business of like, what does the ideal week look like? When are we doing this? What are we doing? And it takes time to sit down with yourself. Like you said, slow the hell down, quiet the outside noise, stop comparing yourself to things on social media, and like, what actually does make me happy? Ian watching football, me reading on a Kindle, I'm like, this is paradise right now. Like, what? I would have never said that.
Yeah, like not what should make me happy. What should make me happy? Because like right now, even with my kids being home, like there are parts of it that are absolutely wonderful and it's totally a gift. There's also parts of it that I sometimes do feel guilt that like I don't enjoy. Like I don't naturally enjoy whipping together this beautiful meal. Every once in a while I do. Well, usually in the fall. Like that's usually like a thing for me. I make like a lot of beef stew and like casseroles and those things. I love baking. But like in the summer, I'm like, I just want to be outside. I don't want to be like in here cooking. And so kind of getting rid of those shoulds of like, okay, I probably should want to feel this way, instead of that, like really tuning into what do I want to feel. Next is A. And this is going to help you with embodying something. So what affirmation do I want to say to myself every day in the season? So if you want to feel a certain way, but it feels kind of foreign to you, kind of coming up with a powerful statement of I am, or I am working towards feeling X, Y, Z, and kind of building this statement that can help you believe what you want to feel. And maybe you already kind of do and you just want to embody that more, up to you. But if you need ideas for affirmations, literally just type in powerful affirmations. You'll get so many. And what I do is I kind of take 2 or 3 that I like, that I've heard, because I do this meditation that's like abundance affirmations. And some of them don't hit well. I'm like, I don't like that idea. I don't like saying I'm the master of my money, like, because I believe in God. And so it's just like, it doesn't sit right with me. But there's certain ones that I'm like, ooh, I like that. I like that. And then you can combine them to create an affirmation that's powerful.
Well, one of mine that I heard from a random video on TikTok was, I always have more money than I need. I can't help but attract a lot of money into my life. And I've gotten away from it and I need to get back to it. But I put it on the notes section of my phone and I would read it in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. And let me tell you, the money is flowing from unexpected ways and areas, and it's great. And so it might sound woo-woo-y, but there is something about, you do attract what you are and how you're feeling, and you bring that energy to you because you're seeking it. So write it down. Like for the longest time, you had one written on your mirror that you looked at every day. That came real. It was leaving your corporate job. There is truth to this. And if you need more truth, literally look it up. Google it. You will see there is scientific research. Your RAS, your reticular activation system, it's the reason why if you want to buy a Chevy Malibu, then you start seeing a damn Chevy Malibu everywhere. And so pick an affirmation that gets you excited.
that kind of reflects what you know you want to feel. And it doesn't have to be about money. It could be about how you feel about your body or your relationships, the peace you want to own, the way that you want to feel when you enter a room, something with your career, whatever it is that you're kind of like really thinking about a lot, just giving yourself something that gives you a little bit more of belief in yourself and say it to yourself every day. Next is the next S. Who is my biggest supporter in this season? So who's going to be that damn cheerleader for you in this next season? In fall, like who can you think of that you're like for me, it's obviously you. If I'm going to do 75 hard, I keep saying if. When I do 75 hard in the end of September.
Did y'all hear that reframe?
Is like someone that's done it, that knows it's challenging, that can empathize with me, but then also has high expectations of me and believes that I'm capable. There's a difference between somebody like, oh, you'll get them next time, to like, hey, that sucks, but you got this. And you can finish that gallon of water. You still have a couple hours left, like get all of the 75 hard non-negotiables taken care of. And, and it doesn't have to be 75 hard, but find that cheerleader for the thing that you want to work on in this season or that needs a little attention.
And as Andrea is going through these, think about this coming season. Yeah. You can reflect on this past season and that's great. But like we said earlier, now is such a beautiful time to think about, okay, fall is coming. Who is going to be my biggest supporter in fall? Is it things are going to get wild and it needs to be my partner? Is it a friend? Is
coworker?
Whoever it may be. And same thing for the affirmation. How do I want to feel right now moving into fall?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we're obviously going to run into obstacles. So always for obstacles. And sometimes we don't want to think about what's going to get in our way. We want to think, 75 will be hard, will be easy for me because I've done all kinds of challenges. But the truth is life happens and obstacles are going to happen. And we typically have these kind of same things that happen, right? Like for me, a big obstacle for me is nights my kids don't sleep. What's going to happen if I'm exhausted? So I probably should make sure that I get the majority of 75 hard done like before 7 p.m. Because if with activities and bath time and bedtime, I could easily fall asleep with a kid in bed if they're struggling to fall asleep. I'm going to have to think about those obstacles, play it through my mind, like ways to troubleshoot so that I don't have to feel bad about it, or I don't have to feel like I'm constantly failing at these things. And how are you going to pick yourself up after the obstacle? Like what's going to help you get back on track or get back to that mental clarity or that positive mental health space that you know that you want to get back to? Like after an obstacle happens, what helps you get back up again?
Yeah. Is it a badass song? Is it your support system? Is it cleaning your house and organizing? I think there's really something powerful about the morning. And to your point, whether you're doing 75 hard or not, getting those healthy habits done in the morning sets your whole tone for the day. You don't have to worry about it. Like studies show willpower is way higher in the morning. And so prioritize it in the morning, plan it out, make it happen. And if an obstacle comes up, okay, well, tomorrow's a new day. And if that happens, well, okay, afternoon, night, chunking Ed Milet has 3 days in one. And I love that idea of if your morning goes to crap, okay, well, it's a new day come the afternoon, a new opportunity. And so there's that self-talk, that powerful self-talk.
Yeah, I love that. And the last one for N in season is what new habit do I want to have in place? Whether it's something you've tried over and over and you still don't have it in place, or what newness do you want to embody in this next season? Because you can really create any life that you want. You can change your identity. You can become the person that really follows through on something that's been really hard for you. And, going through these questions that will really help you. Like, okay, if with this new habit, what's a strength that I have? What do I want to embody with this new habit? What affirmation could I tell myself? Like there's so many ways that we can really help create this new way to thrive in every season. It's just a matter of asking yourself these empowered questions, taking the time to slow down and really think them through, and then giving yourself grace throughout it. Like nobody is perfect. We're going to have these tough days or tough weeks as women with our hormones. Like it's absolutely wild if we don't acknowledge that. Like we have weeks that it's really hard. Like we're irritable or we're tired or we're on fire, like it's tough to, be the consistent person you want to be, especially with 75 hard. Like it's going to be challenging.
Yeah. I listened to, Andy Frisella is who created it. And he had a podcast that I was listening today on my 45-minute walk, and him and one of his co-hosts, they've obviously done it before. And they were saying how every day there's a million obstacles because there's that inner critic that monkey mind that goes wild. That's like, no. Comes up with all these different justifications of why you shouldn't. And so to almost befriend that inner voice, to know how to tame it, what to do, like it's a mental toughness challenge. And so whether you're, again, 75 hard or any new habit you want to build this season, knowing that that inner critic is going to come up and how do you tame it?
Yeah. And I like what you said, befriending it, where you can be like, oh, thanks for showing up again. You obviously care. You're worried about some things. You're remembering the past. Thanks for being here. Okay. I appreciate that. And now I'm back in the driver's seat and I can do this. I know I can. And we actually have recorded on 75 Hard before, episodes 105 and 106 with Ray and Jolene Law, where they both accomplished it. They had tried, well, she had only tried like once, I think, before, and then she did it, and he had tried a ton of times and accomplished it. And so if this intrigues you, feel free to go back and listen more about 75 Hard and lessons they shared. And we're going to keep talking about this because it's just like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I could do it, but I feel like I have to. So I can just say I did it or I tried it and what I learned from it.
In the episode I was listening to with Andy, he's talking about how we all know what we have to do, but why don't we do it? Why? Why is there that inner critic? And we know it's fear and, it's being uncomfortable. But on the other side of pushing through and being uncomfortable is that next level of you that is capable of achieving all of the things that you want. And so to think about, okay, if I'm really consistent with these habits, like 75 days, that's a long time. That's going to build a habit. If I'm doing these things every single day and I feel good after day 5, like what am I going to be like 75 days later? And one of the guys that was at the wedding with us this past week, and he had done it last summer, and he said, day 30, 40, you're not even going to recognize yourself. And something about the way he said it gave me chills, gave me hope. And I just keep thinking of that.
That's cool. But it also could, that's why people don't do it. It scares them because they're like, who am I going to become? And I know myself, I know I self-sabotage, so I'm going to fail. So I don't even want to start. Those are two big things I know is why people are like, absolutely not. I'll be done at day 10. Like, I don't want, and
yeah,
they don't believe in themselves. They don't think they're worth feeling that good or they're worth the time to put in towards these new behaviors. So I can't wait to unpack this even more. I'm really excited for us to chat about it more. And Brooke is going to keep sharing her day. You need to put your check marks on our story and say what day you're on. So
it's really fun to see each, scroll through the progress pics.
Already?
Yes. Day 5. I mean, it's not that exciting yet, but I know it will be. You can just see the transformation. And I'm not doing it for any physical other than like my gut health and my skin improving and my, things like that. And so for me, it is, I'm tracking my symptoms. There's a notes section. So I'm tracking my symptoms and I'm tracking my mood and my energy and like the things that I really want to get out of it. And planning has been crucial. And I think that's something that as you're starting a new season to really get into that habit, like if there's one habit I can offer you, it's planning your week. It has become so sacred for me to use Sundays to map out what I want out of the week, how the last week went. We say it all the time, but it's getting an offense with your time. It's huge. It's everything. It affects your self-worth. It affects your energy, like
the quality of your life. What do you want to be
literally
doing and are you doing it?
Yes. So think about this next season and really take control. You have the power. If it's one small thing, if it's just thinking about what are my strengths, what obstacles do I need to think about come fall? How can I really reset and balance? And we're super excited to announce that we are going to offer a reset challenge come October. So just want to tease that a little bit and stay tuned. It's going to be a sustainable approach for feeling good and tracking these habits that we know make us feel good. So more to come on that. It's going to be a way to set you up for success come the busyness of fall.
And now for your 3 gold stars. Number 1, identify what season you're in and take inventory on how it's going. What is working well and what could use some improvement.
Number 2, write down 3 foundational habits that allow you to feel centered and at peace. For example, daily movement, meditation, and planning your week.
And number 3, reflect on our acronym season. Those empowering questions are going to be transformational. So pick one, do all 6, but reflect on them.
Take the time to slow down, pour into you. You're worth it. And last but not least, your piece of gold comes from Steve Maraboli. If I said that wrong, Steve, My apologies. Steve says, change is in the air. This change reminds us that we are made and beautifully sculpted by the same power that orchestrates the change of season. Let this be the season you embrace and align yourself with this change.
This is GOLDIVY signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.
We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us.
The Ivy Unleashed podcast is produced in partnership with J. Gray Podcast Production.